We're going to go over to the central region, in the district of Gomoah Fetteh, Gomoah East District actually, and specifically Gomoah Fetteh is what we're talking about. Now there's some health challenges that they've been experiencing. Now, the range of challenges that you can have in terms of the health sector, the specific problems that are happening in Gomoah Fetteh is that the CHPS compound, which is at the lowest end of the health strata, right? The most basic of basic facilities for healthcare within communities is what we have, the CHPS compound. But even that, for Gomoah Fetteh, there are challenges with facilities as far as the CHPS compound is concerned. Beyond that, then there's also the issue of, accommodation for those health personnel that will be sent there, to the extent where even spaces like the maternity wards have been converted into sleeping places. Very difficult. Let's take a look at this report. We'll come back and then we'll delve into some more conversations about this.
Gomoah Fetteh, a coastal community in the Gomoah East District of the Central Region, plays a pivotal role in the country's revenue generation, particularly through tourism. Its picturesque and well-maintained beachfront attracts tourists, and its proximity to the Greater Accra region has contributed to its rapid development. However, despite these contributions, the town grapples with a stark lack of essential social amenities, with a particular focus on the absence of a suitable healthcare facility. Currently, the only available healthcare facility for the residents is a community health planning and services, that is CHPS compound, which falls woefully short of meeting the healthcare needs of the community. Even more concerning is the fact that the maternity ward, which also served as a labor ward, has been repurposed as living quarters for healthcare workers.
All right, so the challenge there with the CHPS compound being that the facility that is there to provide, healthcare services to the entire community, it's so dire that even the places where the healthcare practitioners will sleep, is unavailable, and so spaces within the CHPS compound have been repurposed for living quarters. And I think that the Ghana Health Service has questions to answer when it comes to this, because it's completely unacceptable for us to send out people into areas that are deemed less privileged than, let's say, within Accra, right? And then when you send them there you send them there knowing very well what is available there, what is not available there. You send them anyway,
and then
right?
You expect
and then you expect them to figure it out.
Yeah, and also give their best.
Yes, it's a problem. Do you get it? I mean, I don't understand why we keep doing this, because the person who's taking the decision that these 3 nurses are going to go to the CHPS compound at Gomoah Fetteh to go and work is fully aware of the condition of the facility there. Do you get it? Of the condition of the facility over there. You're fully aware. So how is it that you still dispatch your people to go there? Then when we come to the point where 4,000 plus nurses are leaving the country,
then we have a problem.
then you
Exactly.
act like, oh, yeah, you should leave the country. Let's be patriotic and what? There's nothing patriotic. There's nothing to be patriotic about when you look at these kind of conditions. Let's go back and take a look at that insert again.
Gomoah Fetteh, a coastal community in the Gomoah East district of the Central Region, plays a pivotal role in the country's revenue generation, particularly through tourism. Its picturesque and well-maintained beachfront attracts tourists, and its proximity to the Greater Accra region has contributed to its rapid development. However, despite these contributions, the town grapples with a stark lack of essential social amenities, with a particular focus on the absence of a suitable healthcare facility. Currently, the only available healthcare facility for the residents is a community health planning and services, that is CHPS compound, which falls woefully short of meeting the healthcare needs of the community. Even more concerning is the fact that the maternity ward, which also served as a labor ward, has been repurposed as living quarters for healthcare workers.
Ancient community. Our chieftaincy lineage dates back over 300 years. And yet for such a prominent community located by the coast, we don't have any sizable medical facility to write home about. There is only a CHPS compound made up of two small buildings, one for treatment and consultation and the other as a maternity block. Unfortunately, because the nurses posted to Fetteh have no place to stay, they have taken over the maternity ward. And so now we don't have a maternity ward. The maternity ward has become a nurse's quarters. And we need help. And that is why we want to build bigger, better facilities to provide health care for the people. The chiefs, queen mothers, and elders recognize that without good health, no people can progress. So we need good health in order for the people to be able to work and produce and become productive, and for society to develop. And so we are making an appeal for help to build a bigger facility that will serve as a delivery room, a maternity ward, and the other half of that building will serve as a laboratory, so that we can expand the facility and have the facility elevated to a clinic status. There are so many people in Fetteh, and we need to elevate the status of our medical facility to provide good health for the people.
The situation leaves pregnant women with the unfortunate choice of traveling to other areas such as Senyabreku, Kasua, and even Winneba, jeopardizing their safety and that of their unborn children.
I walk on back on no bin. I saw Faka was saying, Winneba. See a baby bray, slab by some boy. You how be bray, why you would. Am I am saying to me, and yes, then he said, by your own machi. You go boom, or be any Beshan, yes, I know, or your hobby bray. See a slab by some boy. Until the Jimbasha, on my Fetteh, Gomoah Fetteh. And I'm sad in the sharing to be area. What by what tap on tap? I did so say a joke, one way a day. What course, and ever ya, and yet energy. Nay, yet this half a second season, ever ya, even young worthy baby. Yet to Nayama, and your many Nana
Aboata, the community's chief, emphasizes that the traditional authorities have taken steps to address these developmental challenges. He mentioned the implementation of a 10-year development plan aimed at carefully executing a crucial project to uplift the community. In an interview with Citi News, Nana Aboata, the chief of the area, appealed to interested partners to support the community in overcoming these challenges.
The Gomoah Fetteh compound has been renovated for befitting status. Construction of a 3-unit nurses bungalow for the Gomoah Fetteh compound is currently ongoing at the foundation stage. All these achievements were possible because of unity. Hence, the theme, unity and progress. In Kambom na Nkodo for the Gomoah Fetteh 2023 Ahubakesi Festival. In Kambom is the vehicle to develop. Nkodo is the end result. I therefore urge all citizens of Fetteh Mine to come together and work for the development of our motherland.
All right, so there you have it. Quite a serious situation. You see, the thing is about development and about governance is that it's very complex and there's a lot of things to be done. So many areas to take care of, so many things to consider, you know, and so if we don't take a certain drastic approach to say that we're cutting all frivolities and we're dealing with the most important things,
ones, yeah.
right? It will drag out forever.
True.
Do you get it? I mean, there are countries that we know who literally have said for the next few years, certain expenditures will come down to zero because we need to fix certain things, you know. And if we, as a country in Ghana, we don't take that approach to say that we are cutting costs completely and all the money that we're going to save is going to go into these sectors, education, health,
yeah.
you know, health and healthcare, we will still be, you know, doing this and attempting and
Yeah.
pretending,
Yeah.
you know,
Because,
to
like,
get things sorted out.
Watching this, I actually see three problems, and those three problems are obviously overcrowding and the unsanitary conditions of the maternity ward, which is going to affect a lot of
No, but the
the
maternity
patients.
ward is. My question I have, even to find out when we talk to our guests on Zoom, where is the maternity ward? Because it's become a bedroom.
Because it's now a bedroom
Yeah,
or a
so
hostel.
now.
Yes.
What's the which one has taken the place of the
True.
maternity ward? Anyway, we've been joined by Nana Aboata, who's the chief of Gomoah Fetteh, as well as Nana Enidado Asari, development chief of Gomoah Fetteh. Good morning, Nana.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Yeah.
So please just help us to get a bit of an understanding. If the maternity ward has been turned into accommodation facilities for the health care practitioners, what is now the place for the maternity for women to deliver?
Okay. Thank you very, very much. The fact of the matter is that there is a small room that is used as a delivery room.
Okay.
We have no maternity ward. And so when a woman delivers and she's supposed to rest with the baby and be checked out before such a person is discharged, there is no place. The worst part is when two women have to deliver on a single night or during the same period.
Yeah.
After the first one has delivered, there is nowhere to transfer the mother and the newborn so that the second woman can also have access to the delivery room.
Yeah.
That is the terrible state in which we are. We don't have a maternity ward. We have none.
Do you know how old this CHPS compound is? How long has it been in existence?
Well, thank you very much. I think if my memory will set me right, it was Mary Grant who commissioned the CHPS compound.
Okay.
I think early 80s. Yes, early 80s. So now I think it has been 40 years now. So that is the reason why we are trying to, putting up a structure that to, lift the image of the CHPS compound so that we can have these facilities, and then it wouldn't be like the native or indigenous moving from Fetteh to Sinya to have medical attention over there.
Yeah.
So with this kind of what we wanted to put in place, that will reduce the errands of the
indigents going to senior for a medical care. So we are appealing to the government, as we said earlier on, that that is our intention, to put up a maternity ward and other kind of facilities that it will uplift the name CHIP compound to the clinic.
Okay, so let me also find out, as chiefs of Gomoah Fetteh, what can you do about providing maybe alternative accommodations so that the space that has been taken over by the healthcare practitioners within the CHPS compound can then be at least something that's available for mothers to come and deliver in the meantime? Is there nowhere close by that we can provide accommodation for the health practitioners?
Yeah. At the moment, we have rented houses for the nurses who are, yes, for the nurses. And but some are still in the premises.
Okay.
So that is the intention, that we need to put up the 3 units bungalow for the nurses, and then so that other rooms could be used for the what do you call it, other facilities, so that there wouldn't be any challenges over there. So the nurses, we have relocated some of them. We have rented a place, houses for them to be in that house. So we are still, on a project that very soon we can complete the project as early as possible, so that we will relocate all of them into the bungalow, and then what we are supposed to do at the premises, at the CHIP compound, we can able to do.
So are you saying that currently, as we are speaking, there's a construction in progress?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
We've reached a window level.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds good. It sounds hopeful. So we're looking at what, by the end of the year, maybe?
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Okay. Right.
All right, Nana. I just want to ask. I'm sure this has been going on for a while. Like you said, the building has been there for about 40 years, and obviously you've been trying to bring the government's attention to this problem. Have you gotten any response so far?
Well, let me come in. Thank you very much. Not much. Whenever we do anything, we invite government officials, especially the healthcare officials in the district, and we haven't received any help to date. I think it should go on record that even the current CHPS compound that you showed in your footage before this interview has just been renovated. You could see that new paint. It looks very beautiful. Yeah. And the chiefs and elders spent about 80,000 Ghana cedis. It was leaking badly. We had to take off the roof. Most of the roofing beams were rotten. They had to be replaced. New sheets put on. And once we took off the roof, we had to also work on the ceiling. Yeah. So even those facilities had to be renovated to the state in which you find them. And so that's one thing that has been done. And when we did commission the renovated facilities, the health officials were there. They were invited and they know what's going on. The fact is that we didn't know when the place was taken over. It doesn't belong to the chiefs. It belongs to the Ministry of Health. Yeah. And so by the time we realized, the nurses already moved in, and we had no control over that. They were already living there. Yeah. And so as Nana said, we had to find accommodation, pay the rent for some of them to move. Yeah. But there are still some there. So we are doing our best within our means, and the health authorities are very much aware of the situation there.
All right. So how do the people of the community feel with this new improvement of, putting up a building and even renovating the old building and even helping the medical staff, get accommodation? How do people of the community feel?
I think the people are excited, but they want to see the end of it. They're excited that the old building has been renovated. They're excited that the nurses now have accommodation in town, but They are hoping that those who are still living on the premises are moved so that they can have access to the facility.
Right.
So they are excited, but they are in expectancy, hoping that some help would come. In fact, beyond the maternity ward, there's really nothing left apart from the small area for consulting and a small place for pharmacy. So we actually need wards also, male ward, female ward, children's ward, so that when somebody falls sick, they can be admitted. As you saw in the footage, one of the citizens of the town saying, when you fall sick and you go there, whether you are well or not, sometimes you are compelled to be discharged to go home or referred to another facility because they wouldn't have a place to keep you and monitor you over an extended period of time. And so that is also a challenge. And so beyond fixing the delivery and maternity issues, we also have to look at the broader healthcare of the people. We are not asking for any big thing. We are asking for the basic health of the people. When they are well, they can go to work. When they are well, they can go to the sea and bring us fish. And go to the farm.
No, sorry. I'm just thinking about it now. I mean, Gomoah Fetteh, the status of the town of Gomoah Fetteh is such that I don't even think you should be dealing with a CHPS compound. You should have a clinic, basic minimum clinic.
You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Nana is sitting by me saying yes. The fact is, it's a tourist attraction.
Exactly.
Okay, people come there, come on Easter Monday and all these holidays. People come to the beaches. Tourists, both local and foreign, come. And when they fall sick, where would they go to? When a tourist comes to a hotel and falls sick, where would the tourist go? You have to transport the person far away. And so it's a big tourist community, and there is nothing for the people. So, even visitors coming in are not attracted because if they come and they fall sick, they have nowhere to go. They have nowhere to receive health care.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We've been speaking with Nana Enidado Asare, who is the one who just last spoke, but we also had Nana Abo Atta, who is the chief of Gomoah Fetteh, and giving us, a good understanding of what it is that they're going through and experiencing within the community of Gomoah Fetteh as far as healthcare is concerned. See, it's a problem.
Very big problem.
Look, first of all, I mean, if you know Gomoah Fetteh is a big town, okay? It's not expansive, but it's a very, very vibrant town, right? And like you said, it's a very touristy place because it's not too far from Accra, but it's far enough and the beaches are clean. And so it's very attractive.
People go there.
And there are quite a few popular resorts along the beach there, So really, it beats my imagination why after 40 years of the original CHPS compound, and 40 years ago, it was a much more quiet, smaller place, less vibrant and all that. And so it maybe made sense 40 years ago to put the CHPS compound up. But today, you can't even a CHPS compound that we're even talking about right now, it shouldn't be a CHPS compound. Gomoah Fetteh is very vibrant.
Sure.
A lot of people, coming in and out all the time. There's no way we should even be talking about CHPS compound today as it is. There should be a lot more
and
that's
I
going
think
on
it's also going to be very discouraging for any health worker sent there.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's like you have to be extremely passionate about giving health care to people or desperate.
No, but even if you're
or
passionate,
desperate.
Desperate should be the word, because even if you're passionate,
no, but some people
at
are
some
really
point
passionate.
They
will go anywhere. Some people are really that passionate.
Are you that passionate?
Once is about my work, yes. Yes, my work, yes.
Okay.
But some people are very passionate, so they will go anyway, right? But then we shouldn't subject people to this kind of, conditions. I think that Ghana Health Service, Ministry of Health, needs to take up this thing quite seriously. Right.
And it's just sad that he says, like, they invite the government officials, when they're doing whatever.
No, when the problem is there and you talk to them about it and invite them, they won't come. But when now we have done the place nice and it's
They'll
time
be
to outdoor the
yes,
thing,
then they'll go.
But you see, like he said, even though they renovated it, the facility doesn't belong to them. So before they could say Jack Robinson, people have
People are already
inhabited.
Yeah. Yes.
You came to work. There was nowhere to stay. So they took a room.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been joined by one resident of Gomoah Fetteh, Precious Fosse. Hello, Precious. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
Can you share with us some of your experiences dealing with and relating to the CHPS compound when people like yourself and your friends, family are ill? What's the experience like?
Okay, it's not a good one to write home about because sometimes you walk to the facility with the patients and then when you get there, you knock, and then there will be no one to be around to take care of you. And you have to travel like miles to the next town or even to Winneba for health care. All because there are no facilities there to give like the patients good health care. Sometimes
Precious, you're saying that when you get there, sometimes you have to knock before,
yes,
and even when you can knock, and sometimes there's nobody there.
yes.
Wow. This
And
is serious.
Because there are no beds and stuff to detain the patient, even if you are well or not okay, you have to go home. Yes, because the nurse is in a haste to go home. So they will discharge you to go home.
Wow.
And then our maternity too, labor ward.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they bring the pregnant women,
Yes.
labor, sometimes they'll be there and then they'll keep a long while and they wouldn't be able to deliver. So they have to transfer them, add a nurse to the patient to take them to maybe Winneba or maybe Kaswa. And this
when you say they won't be able to deliver, what do you mean?
Sometimes, you see the VB, vaginal birth.
Yes.
When they take care of you for some time and then the baby is not showing up, they would have to transfer you.
Okay.
I think an incident happened in front of me. I took my daddy to the hospital, the CHPS compound. And then one lady was brought in there in the morning. We went there around 12:01.
Okay.
And then the lady was battling, like she was in labor. So you could see suffering. And the nurse was like, they brought her in the morning and she has done all her possible best for her to deliver. But it's still to no avail. So she has to transfer them.
Wow.
And at the point in time, she was even bleeding.
Yeah.
So they transferred them to Winneba. So when cases like this happen, it put the lives of the mother and then the baby in a risk.
Right. So, Precious, you said they transfer them to Winneba or sometimes Kaswa. If I may ask, how long does it take to get to Winneba? Like, how many hours are we looking at?
If you use the main road, let's say an hour and a half, depending on the car you are using. And there are no ambulances. So if there's an ambulance, you see an ambulance, it travels at the fastest rate. But assuming you are using a taxi.
Yeah.
And the taxi is not too fast. And let's say we use the bush road to. There's bush road to Winneba.
Yeah.
Which is not too good.
It's not a good road,
And they prefer using that one because that one looks shorter than using the main road.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. And it puts their lives at risk.
So you said there are no ambulances, but there's supposed to be an ambulance per constituency. So Gomoah Fetteh, Gomoah East District is supposed to have one.
Yes, that one is at St. Gregory Hospital in Liberia Camp.
Oh, I see. So the station there.
Of them And by the time they will get here, so they'll pick you up, the patient will be suffering. So they will just have to take a taxi.
Yeah, okay.
And then
Wow.
go there. Yeah.
Precious, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
This just gave me a bit of PTSD. That's why I'm quiet. Like, this is so bad. It's so bad because anything can happen to the mother or the child. And I understand what she means.
Yeah.
I understand what she means because I kind of like went through the same thing. If you cannot give birth, you know, through the vagina, obviously they'll have to, you know, go through a CS.
Yeah.
And now with the CS, probably the nurses there are not capable.
No. It's not about that. It's about the facility.
Yes.
The facilities
So
are
yeah,
not
they are not capable to do whatever they have to do because of the facility.
It's a CHPS compound.
Exactly.
CHPS compound is not kitted to do certain things, let alone a surgery. Do you see? Let alone a surgery. So as maybe in terms of surgical procedures, maybe as simple as a CS may be, it is not you can't do it there because you're exposing the patient to all kinds of danger if you attempt that. The CHPS compound is not set up for that.
I get it.
Do you see?
I get it. But you see,
So,
the issue with the ambulance too,
yes,
there's supposed to be a way they could communicate to even, you know,
no,
I don't know.
So you see what she said. If you understand the way the road infrastructure works.
Yeah, probably I don't understand it.
So Budumburam, which is the former Liberia camp, okay, is along the road. So you're coming from Kaswa, you get to Budumburam. But from Budumburam, you travel further.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's about 2 or 3 towns, and then you get to Gomoah Fetteh, right? So what happens is this. There's a hospital called St. Gregory's, which is what she mentioned.
Which is on the Budumburam side.
It's within where the Liberia camp used to be. Okay, that's where the hospital is. And that, the constituency, the Gomoah East constituency ambulance is stationed there. So she's saying that by the time you call and the ambulance gets there, you may as well just have decided that, look, let's pick a taxi. It's quicker, it's faster. Taxi is around the corner. Let's go straight away. So they rather depend more on taxis as opposed to calling and waiting for the ambulance to come from St. Gregory's, where, you know, it's for the entire constituency. So it could have also, been called somewhere else. You know, and now that there are 2 options. You're either going to use the main road, which has traffic, whatever, different issues, or use the bush road, which is less traveled or less busy, but it is not a good road.
Yeah, and
as I said, it's a bush road.
Yeah, and she also talked about, you know, going to the facility and knocking, and then
that for me blows my mind. Let's talk to a resident midwife, Matilda. She's joined us on the line. Matilda, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
Are you the only midwife at the CHPS compound in Gomoah Fetteh?
Yes, please.
You're the only one. Okay. All right.
Yes, please.
Talk to us about what your experiences have been in the last, you know, let's say the last few months working there at the CHPS compound.
Okay, because I'm the only midwife there, maybe if I travel or I go for a meeting and then a pregnant woman comes in labor, and they come to meet no midwife here. And then we don't have a maternity unit, maternity block. It's a small case compound, and we detain when people are sick and they come and they need to be detained. They are all detained, both male and females are all detained in the same room with children. So we don't have enough infrastructures. We don't have maternity unit. We don't have laboratory.
Yeah.
When our pregnant women come in, then we give them lab request form to go and run labs. They don't want to go.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you don't have a laboratory there, so if they have to go across town to go to a lab, help us to understand. Is there a laboratory in Gomoah Fetteh?
Yes, there's a laboratory in Hope Christian Hospital,
Okay.
which is in Gomoah Fetteh.
Okay. How far is how far is the Hope Christian Hospital from where you are, the CHPS compound?
Oh, about 10 minutes drive.
10-minute drive.
But when we are walking, we are about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is helping us to put a lot of things in context. Now, how long have you been working at the CHPS compound?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Yes,
So were you there at the time when it was not renovated?
Yes, I was here at the time when it was not renovated.
Okay. So how has the renovation changed things for you?
Renovation has helped us a lot because at first when it rains, there is an outflow of rain in the facility.
I see.
So when the clients come, they don't have a place to sit, and then they were not coming. They were going to stay now. But since the renovation came in, now our OPD attendance has increased, our antenatal fee has increased, and then the place is looking lovely.
Yeah. No, I mean, we are looking at footages of it, and it looks beautiful. But I hate to imagine what it must have looked like, considering the way you are describing it. And then we also spoke to your chief earlier on, and the way he was describing it, it didn't look like it would be a nice place at all. So it's good that it's been done. But in terms of accommodation, help us to understand some of your colleagues are living in the CHPS compound itself. Is there no accommodation around the CHPS compound instead of living there, so that there's more space for patients? What's the challenge?
There is more accommodation. We are only two living here. I'm the midwife and the other is the enrollment. And in that room was a storeroom. And then we converted it into a room for her because she was looking for a room and she was not getting in. So we don't have staff accommodation, and all our staff are staying apart. They are not nearer to the CHPS compound.
I see. And does that also pose a challenge, having to live far away?
Yes. It poses a challenge. Because it puts stress on us, the two of us living here. Because we will go to work, it's a CHPS compound and it's 24-hour service. We will go to work in the morning, we do our normal duties, we close and we come, and then people will be coming in the evening, at night. You can't say you not take care of them. You have to, yes. So if our staff, some of them are living closer to us, we would appreciate, and then the stress will be minimized.
Yeah.
Okay, earlier on we spoke to a resident there, her name is Precious, and Precious told us that sometimes when they come to the hospital, when they come to the CHPS building, they knock and then nobody is there, no nurse to attend to them. What's that all about?
Yeah, sometimes I wouldn't be around. Maybe I'll go for a workshop or I'll go for a meeting. I wouldn't be around. The other enrollment living there, maybe she will be on off duty and she will travel. So if I'm not around, then she's also not around. That's how come it happens like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Well, all we can do is to wish you all the best, with the conditions that you find yourself there. Wish you all the best. Do whatever you can, within the circumstances that you are, to help the people. But we do appreciate your time and for speaking to us as well. It's not the easiest of circumstances to find yourself in, but we want to encourage you to keep doing the best that you can out there in Gomoah Fetteh. And the chief has promised that there's a construction that's going on they're looking at putting up some facilities so that at least some of the health care professionals like yourself can move in closer, and have a place to stay. And so hopefully by the end of the year, maybe that should be completed. So that should bring some relief for you. So thank you for speaking to us, Matilda.
Okay, thank you too.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
All right. Okay, so that was Matilda. She's she's the resident maternity midwife, and sharing some of her experiences with us. As you can see, it's not, it's not an easy situation for any of them, and they're really doing what it is that they can.
Yes.
And like she said, you see, you may shout and scream, as I would, when pressure says, you go and you knock,
and
there's nobody. I'm like, how can there not be anybody there?
Is this,
right?
is this not a medical center?
Yeah, how can there not be anybody there? But you see, the practical reality of it is that there are only two who are resident there. There's no accommodation around. There are only two who are resident in the space. Now, when you are off duty, what do? You go and do the other things.
Your own thing.
Your life is not just work. So when you're off duty, you may decide, let me go to Accra for the weekend, or go to Accra for my off days, or whatever. Then, like she said, midwife, she has to go for workshops, meetings, different things. If you are gone, you're gone, right? Now, the other health professionals don't live anywhere near. So this is the challenge that we have. And so it makes absolute sense that what the chiefs are saying, that look, we are putting up a facility,
so they can
at least a 3-bedroom bungalow or something, and can bring them, all of them into one space, so that they are close by. And like Matilda said, if they were all around, we could rotate and have different people on duty so that there's always somebody available. But as it is what it is, Yeah. Well, we have our correspondent, Gomoah Fetteh, on the line. Gomoah, good morning.
Good morning, David.
How are you doing?
I'm great, David.
All right. So we've had a conversation with, different people regarding the CHPS compound situation in Gomoah Fetteh. The challenge is hydra-headed. So many issues around it. The hospital or medical facility within the Gomoah East District, what's the layout like? Because we've heard different names of different places. So we've heard Gregory Hospital, we've heard Hope Christian Hospital, and so on, and of course the CHPS compound. What's the layout like within Gomoah East District generally? Nothing specific, just generally, in terms of health care.
Well, okay, David, the Gomoah East District has some small health facilities within the enclave. I would start by saying there is a Potting Polyclinic, which is supposed to be the bigger facility, but that one is also under-resourced. Not quite long ago, we did a report concerning the Potting Polyclinic, where health workers have put themselves together to be, engaging themselves on the ministry. When there's an accident, they attend to the persons on the stretcher and then bring them to the facility. According to the health experts, they're under-resourced, and so for that matter, they can't, deal with the situation when it comes. Then there is the Gomoah Fetteh CHPS compound, which is in the Gomoah Fetteh enclave. But around in that same area, there's Hope Christian Clinic also in that same area. But the Gomoah Fetteh Clinic, CHPS compound, is the main facility that takes care of persons within that site. It is sad to note that, when tourists come to the area, just imagine being a tourist, you come to have fun in that area, and then something unforeseen happens to you. You have to be rushed out of the enclave to either Potting or to Kasoa or to Winneba. It is not something that anybody at all would want to have a feel of, because anything at all can happen to anybody in that time. So the people around are saying that they need that facility to be enlarged to ensure that they can also actually take care of people when they come to have fun in that area. It's a big tourist destination, and it is sad to see that there's no health, there's no clinic in that area to take care of persons, David. I've spoken to some people around that area, and one lady was telling me, just imagine you are sick at dawn. You just walk into the facility expecting to see a professional to take care of you. You go there, and then voila, there's nobody there. It's quite sad.
We had a conversation with Matilda, who is the resident midwife there, and she was saying how that because the healthcare personnel, majority of them don't live close by. So rotating, for duty becomes complicated. It's just two of them who actually live in the facility, and what happens then is that if you're going for workshops, you're going for conferences, you're on your off day, then suddenly there's a problem, and so it looks like the government is really going to have to take a look at this particular facility and others like it and see what we can do to upgrade, and better the situations. But Calvis, thank you very much. Yes, you want to wrap it up for us?
And yes, David, and interestingly, the Gomoah East Enclave is one of the fast developing areas within the central region.
Yeah.
It has a huge population. And Gomoah Fetteh alone has a huge population because it's a developing area. People are moving in from Accra because of its proximity to Accra. So people are moving in to settle there. Just imagine you are sick and then there's nothing. The road is also bad.
Yeah.
They are now constructing the road. So it is really time for authorities to really do something about the situation.
Yeah, yeah. All right, thank you very much for speaking to us, Calvis. That's Gomoah Fetteh, our correspondent for the Central Region. And we had conversations with Precious, who is a resident there in the community. We also spoke with Matilda, who is the midwife at the CHPS compound, and we also spoke with Nana Abo Atta, who is the chief of Gomoah, as well as Nana Enyidado Asare. He's the development chief of Gomoah Fetteh.